That was good. I'm just here to tell you that you shouldn't make a science out of spirituality and awakening and enlightenment. There are so many people going into satsang trying to figure out how does it work? How can I awaken? How does it work? I want to awaken right now. And it just doesn't work this way. Because your brain cannot handle the truth. Because the brain is the light, it's the darkness. You want to go to the light. You already are the light. But your brain is trying to figure out how the light works so it can become enlightened, but it doesn't work like that. And what people do, and this is a trap, people are, they want to meditate, they want to reach enlightenment, they want to, go to this group meetings, satsangs, and ask the gurus, watch a lot of videos. And what happens is they have a certain conditioning that says whenever I sit down and try to meditate, I shouldn't think, and every time I think, I have failed, or not thinking is the victory. And what they are overlooking is that they are attached to an outcome. They are working for enlightenment as if their life is dependent on it. But enlightenment comes when you are detached. So I give you a little practice. Just sit down, close your eyes, and don't call it meditation. Just sit with your eyes closed. Please think if you want. Please feel if you want. Go back to your past. Go to your future. Have your whole imagination active. Don't call it meditation. Just sit down, do exactly what I just told you. But be aware. Just be aware of it. You don't have to, reach enlightenment through not thinking. Just sit down and relax. Set your alarm clock to I like to do me personally, I like to do 30 minutes, 40, 50 minutes, sometimes an hour. But you decide, you can do it for 20 minutes, half an hour, but just have a fixed time. Sit down, don't call it meditation, be aware of whatever is happening, because what happens is the first stage of awakening. Actually, it's the first stage when you as awareness become familiar with what is actually going on inside of your mind. I know if you're a determined ego, you want to attain things, then of course immediately you want to know. What you hear from the gurus is telling you, oh, the ego doesn't exist. So you as an ego, you want to figure that out very quickly. So it becomes a belief, becomes a new belief to the ego that the ego doesn't exist. So you shouldn't care about it. It doesn't even exist. But I tell you, just sit down and watch your ego, because obviously you're still aware of an ego even if it doesn't exist, because who is interested in watching this video? It's not the pure self, it's the ego. But it's not I don't mean bad when I tell this, but there is apparently an ego and you need it to live, of course. It's just not you. So you observe your ego, but it's very easy. It doesn't feel like oh, I have to be attentive and I have to concentrate. It's not about it. They call it concentration, but it doesn't feel like concentration. It's just being present with whatever is here, even if the thought is going into the past. Just be present with that, just don't be unconscious. What is unconsciousness? It's just identified. You really think that you are thinking the thought about your past trauma. It's you, and you have to fix it. It's your responsibility. That's unconsciousness, because you're in a dream. But once you realize, hey, that's funny, my brain is thinking this, you're automatically detached. And another thing, you shouldn't care about enlightenment, because if you care about enlightenment, you're attached, and if you're attached to something, even enlightenment, enlightenment won't come. Enlightenment isn't some extraordinary state. It's just liberation. Freedom and liberation is detachment. Detachment means there's no suffering. And that's what you essentially want. Before you knew what enlightenment was, you were looking for a way that brings you to a state of non-suffering. And they call it enlightenment. Now you're attached to enlightenment more than you are to not suffering. But you shouldn't have a condition. You shouldn't put conditions on the state of not suffering. It's just sit down, relax, see what's happening. Even if your body is stressing out and it doesn't feel like real meditation, just watch it. Feels like pain, okay, it feels like pain. Who's watching that pain? It doesn't mean, when I say who's watching that pain, it doesn't mean that the feeling is not validated. It's perfectly fine if you're feeling down, but be present with it. Don't identify with it. Shouldn't make a science out of it. If you shouldn't learn anything from me right now. You really shouldn't learn anything from me. Just empty yourself, because the goal of this video is to take you from a point where you think that you have to reach enlightenment. And I just want to remember you that you shouldn't do that. You should make it even more simple. You shouldn't meditate. You should not meditate. You shouldn't do anything. You should just sit down, do nothing. Let the body and the brain and the emotions and the feelings and the past rememberings and the future plans and goals, let them have their own life. And just be present with it. You cannot flee, go away, hide. Just be present with it. If you want to hide from your feelings, and it just makes it worse. If you try to suppress it, when you have an ADHD brain and it's constantly thinking, and you are forcing yourself to be very silent, the suppressed thoughts will take revenge on you. Especially when you're trying to sleep. That's when it gets real bad. That's when the show goes down, usually. But when you're meditating daily, you shouldn't have any problem with sleeping. That's basically it. Don't make science out of it. Don't make science out of meditation, spirituality. Just be aware that whenever you're clicking on a video, trying to figure out how to manifest, how to meditate better, how to, open your third eye, how to, all these things. Awareness itself doesn't care. It just doesn't care, because it is eternally fulfilled. And it cannot lose it, and it knows that. So whoever is watching a video to gain something cannot be your true self. That doesn't mean, I don't want to say don't do it. It's you can do it. It's totally validated. Just be aware that there's no activity coming from, there's this feeling of being ashamed, being interested, being prideful. That's not you. If you're going to satsang India, trying to figure out, you want to talk with a guru, Mauji or Muji, is it called Muji? Or Eckhart Tolle or whatever. If you have a question, and there's so many people who have different personal questions. Oh, but in my case I cannot do it because in my life situation right now this is happening. But the answer is always the same. Who's asking? Who's asking? You are in satsang because you're looking for your true self. Right? You're not the you're if you want personal help, you could go to a psychotherapist or something like that. But you're in a satsang, you're watching spiritual awakening videos and stuff like that. So you're not looking for a better state of ego mind. You don't want to make your ego healthy. You want to throw it away. And you're asking for solutions for the ego instead of throwing it away. By throwing it away, I obviously mean not just taking it and throw it away. You cannot take it because it doesn't exist, but watch it. Watch the activity before you ask. Just observe. Who wants to ask? Just observe the thought. And obviously do not interrupt the flow. If you want to ask. It's nothing's wrong. I just want to make you aware that asking about personal circumstances or coming from a personal circumstance, asking someone, how can I fix it? It doesn't make you more awake. It has nothing to do with awakening. And I think that's it. I think that's enough for this video. If you liked what you've heard, please consider giving this video a like, subscribe, leave a comment so that the YouTube algorithm can push this to more people who are interested in the same topic. And I thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.